Hey Hammer fam, check it out. Welcome back to HammeredHead. For today's review, we got the fifth Brother Inquisitor from the Force Awakens line. So he was in the Rebels show, but the figure itself only came out in the Force Awakens line, which is why we get this weird card back. But, you know, whatever. At least we have the figure. Once we open him up, it's not going to matter. I do like the image on there. He's got a pretty menacing look. It's pretty artistic. And he comes with a battle claw or something. I don't really know what to do with that. But he looks okay in there. I think the Force Awakens line had some like kind of lame packaging, to be honest. But it had a good selection of figures, all things considered. So yeah, if we get Tasu Leech and Admiral Akbar, we can construct this like mega thing. But with just him, he can still use it as a hook, I guess. Alright. Fifth Brother Inquisitor. A towering presence, the fifth Brother Inquisitor is tasked to hunt the rebels by Darth Vader himself. A man of few words, he uses his intimidating physicality and brute strength to try and best the rebel crew and capture the elusive Jedi. Yeah, Rebels is my favorite animated series in Star Wars. I think it's really phenomenal, and the Inquisitors were pretty fun as villains. They're just there to be menacing and get killed off at some point. But this guy was legit. I liked him in the show, and I think I'm going to like him in a figure. So let's get him out of there and take a look. Alright, he's rolling up, ready to get after it. It looks pretty menacing. I like the guy in general. He is a 5 POA figure, so not a crazy amount of detail, and definitely not a lot of articulation, but all things considered, he looks good. Starting with his head, they got his eyes pretty creepy. Like they're just straight white. And I think it translated okay. His hat looks cool too. Pretty basic, but there's some nice shine to that silver paint on the top. And it's a good like wrap all the way around under his chin. I like the Imperial insignia on his shoulders. The whole like chest piece here actually is pretty nice. And he does have a little bit of a design going on here. And a giant belt buckle for some reason. And then his legs are super basic. Just like plain black boots. Nothing really going on interesting with his pants or anything. He is 5 POA, so his head rotates, which makes his neck look really long. And his arms just go like this. His shoulder armor kind of restricts movement, so he can't go all the way up or down unless you like really force it. And no issues really with the legs, but again, not getting a whole lot of movement out of there. I think my biggest issue with him in terms of like his legs and articulation are his joints just look massive. Like they're really like cleaving out parts of his leg here, which isn't, super abnormal for a 5 POA figure, but it just, given this guy's size, it's a lot more apparent on this one. And then another issue was his hand. Once you get that lightsaber in there, it's definitely not going anywhere. You really have to work for it to get it into his hand. I was worried I was going to either break something or start chipping the paint off. So that was just a little frustrating to get in there. But once he's got it, he's got a good grip on it. And then just to give you an idea of his size, he is significantly larger than the average 375 figure, which is good. Because, he's supposed to be big and imposing and creepy looking. And I think, on that front, they definitely nailed it. Accessories are, whatever. We get his lightsaber, obviously, which is a pretty basic design, but there's some small detailing in there on the grip. So it's not the most exciting of the Inquisitor lightsabers, but it does still look good. It looks good holding it. And then we get the mega battle death grip thing, which I think they just made up for this series. But we get like an instructional manual with it. So if you get the other ones, that's how you build like the apparatus, which I think would look kind of goofy. But you could do it. What does that say? Space? I guess it's a space mission version. And let's see if he can hold it. Oh, God. How's he supposed to grab it? Like this? No, I think that's upside down. What the hell? Alright, there we go. So he's got it. And it does actually open up. Ugh. This piece comes all the way out, if you so choose. It's got like notches on it. But now he can like super mega death clamp people. Like he's gonna do to Mr. Hammer. That's it for Fifth Brother. He's okay. He's not the best quality figure, which is pretty par for the course for that line that he came from. But he looks decent enough, and I don't think we're going to get an update of him anytime soon. I know he was in Obi-Wan, but that, time for making figures from that show, I think, is come and gone. So I think it's pretty unlikely that there's going to be an updated Fifth Brother. So if you like Inquisitors or Sith or bad guys, and you want a Fifth Brother, I'd say just get this one. He looks good enough. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you to my Patreon subscribers. Don't forget to follow on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out the Patreon page. And don't forget, stay hammered.